All right, all right. Here we go. Here we go, man. All right, profile. What's good, fam? Just waiting for some people to fall up in here. Yeah, man, I got to talk about this. We got a show today. Does she really need to like you to desire you sexually? That's what we're talking about. Does she really need to like you to desire you sexually? Again, waiting for some more people to fall up in here. I don't know what's up with the notifications. YouTube been acting funny all day, so we're just waiting. What's good? What's good, Danny P? What's good with you, fam? Unique 79. All right, my peoples. My people's coming up in here. Yeah, that's what's up. So, guys, we're going to talk about this today. Does she really need to like you to desire you sexually? Right? And when I break this down, hopefully, right, it's my sincere hope and wish that some guys really get what they're doing, right? So when I begin to break this down, and let me just say this, right? When I begin to break this down, hopefully you can begin to recollect on your conversations and interactions with women, and you can see which side of the coin you fall on when I break this shit down, right? So real quick, let me shout out some people real quick. High profile, Danny P, Unique 79, Joe Blast, Duca Lux. Okay, cool. That's what's up. All right, fuck it. We're gonna get into it. All right, there's just, my day ones in here, so fuck it. We gonna I'm gonna rock with y'all. So we're gonna break this down. So let me just say this. Here's my caveat, right? Again, does she really need to like you to desire you sexually? Here's the reality of it. For you to have the best experience with women, then her liking you is a plus towards that, right? But when it comes to the purposes of just casual sex, no, a woman does not need to like you. She does not, right? Again, if you're talking about having the best possible experience with a woman, right, all across the board, then her liking you is a plus, it's a bonus, right? And when you talk about relationships, right, where it's deeper than just sex, then her liking you is a must, right? But we're not talking about relationships, guys. We're talking about sex. We're talking about casual sex encounters. When you meet women, for all you guys, right? Now, for all my guys who do not indulge in casual sex encounters, right? I'm not necessarily talking to you, but yet I'm still talking to you. So you can still learn something from this live stream. All right. So before we get into the joint, let me say this. If you have a question, put a Q in the chat, followed by your question. There's no call-in number. We're not doing that. Like I need some consistency where the internet ain't tripping. And then we'll do that call-in shit at another time, right? I just need a good wow where I'm rocking, right? Steadily, right? Now, I want to tackle something, right? And I want to get into this real quick, and we're going to get into the joint, and I'm going to break it down. Like I got a little presentation, right? I'm going to break this shit down, right? But before we do that, I want to speak on social conditioning. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes, they can. Women can detach very easily. Women are very adept at being able to detach. Yes, they are. Yeah, very well adept. Very well adept. In fact, I would say they're better at it than most men, in my opinion. Right? So I want to talk about social conditioning because I noticed that a lot of times when we do these live streams, guys, they talk about that. And social conditioning is a crutch. It's an excuse. So what is social conditioning? What is it? Right? Social conditioning is a process where individuals are trained by society, including their culture and peer groups, to think, feel, and behave in ways considered acceptable or appropriate. Right? This is why when you have chicks, oh, you just can't tell a chick that. You can't talk to women like that. That's a form of subtle social conditioning. When women tell you you can't talk to them in a certain way and it's not polite and you're too forward and all of this, all that really is it's a form of subtle social conditioning, right? and behave in ways considered acceptable and appropriate. It's a powerful force shaping our beliefs, values, and actions, often operating subtly and unconsciously, right? And the reason why you can't use it as an excuse is because every single man on this planet was subject to the same goddamn social conditioning as every other goddamn man. Everybody, right? The difference is, I'm gonna tell you the difference. This is the difference. Okay, I don't want to hear nothing about religious shit and your parents and none of that. Okay, I understand all of those are factors. However, though, well, let me just read this to you. Social conditioning is most effective for people who are not free thinkers. Let me say that shit again. Social conditioning is most effective for people who are not free thinkers. So, what is a free thinker? Someone who forms their own opinion and beliefs based on reason and evidence, rather than blindly accepting what is commonly believed or taught, especially in matters of religion. Right? Also, people who are most affected by social conditioning are people who lack a sense of clear direction. So you're going to follow the herd. I'm just going to go with them. It makes sense. Right? The rest of us who are free thinkers are going over there. Right? That's what's happening. Right? So and we're going to get into this. Let me get my shit off. Right? Let me plug the joint. Does she really need to like you to desire you sexually? I'm going to break this the fuck down. Like Steve says, get out your crayons, because I really want to take a deep dive. I really want to get into this because I want to take all y'all excuses away. I want to take all of y'all excuses. I want to take them all away. I want to just take them because I'm tired. I'm tired of hearing them, right? And we're men. We don't make excuses. We just do shit that we want to do, right? And the shit that we can't do, we just let it be. But the shit that we can't, influence, we work to influence it, right? Again, does she really need to like you, right, to desire you sexually? So let me just read this to you. A woman can feel, and I need y'all to listen. It's going to break this down, right? Let's listen real quick. Again, guys, if you have a question, put a Q in the chat followed by your question. And I would suggest you get them in as quickly as possible, right? Because once I get rolling, I might miss them, right? A woman can feel sexual attraction towards someone without liking them as a person. Okay, now don't let that go over your head. Okay, let me read that again. A woman can feel, these are not my words. These are what I'm reading to you right now. These are not my words. I'm reading something from somewhere else. These are not my words, right? A woman can feel sexual attraction toward someone without liking them as a person. Sexual attraction and romantic or emotional attraction are distinct experiences. They're distinct. And women know this. Women know there is a distinct separation in men they just want to fuck versus men they're curious about dating, right? Versus the men they don't want to fuck, but they like them. Stay with me. But they like them. They want to keep friend zone. Every guy in a friend zone, women like them as people. That's why they're there. Let me just say this, because I don't want this to be lost on people. In order for a woman to enjoy your company non-sexually, she has to like you as a person. You can't get around it. And listen to what I'm telling you. In order for a woman to enjoy your company non-sexually, she has to like you as a person. And I think this is where guys get confused, but I'm going to unconfuse the fuck out of you today, right? So let me continue to read. And they don't always coincide. So let me start all over. A woman can feel sexual attraction towards someone without liking them as a person. Sexual attraction and romantic or emotional attraction are distinct experiences, and they don't always coincide. Many people, both men and women, can experience sexual attraction to someone based on physical qualities, a spark, or other factors, even if they don't feel a deep connection or fondness for that person's personality. I need you. If you meet a woman at a bar or a club or anywhere for that matter, and you're talking to her for 5, 10, 15 minutes, and y'all leave to go to have sex, at what point does she get to know you well enough to make a clear discernment as to your personality? All she knows is she liked the way she felt in your physical presence, and it made her vagina twitch, and she wants to fuck you. That's it. That's it. Guys, here's the key. Here's the key. Here's the key. You don't have to get a woman to like you. All you have to do is be a personable individual, right? A person that a woman can relate to. But how do you want her to relate to you? That's the question. Again, be a person a woman can relate to, but how do you want her to relate to you? Do you want her to relate to you as someone who is likable? Or do you want her to relate to you as someone who is sexually desirable? Which one? Pick one. Pick one. We're going to break this shit down today. We're going to break this shit down. Right. Now, there's a word, and I came across this word, never heard of this word before. Non-concordance. Non-concordance. Let me tell you what it means. This refers to a disconnect between a person's conscious feelings and their physiological arousal. For example, someone might experience physical arousal without feeling any attraction or desire. So for all you guys, right, be talking to a chick, you think it's going somewhere, and you might have said some shit, right, that turned her on. But she still ain't gonna fuck you. Shout out to Ella Roger Curry. R.I.P. to ARC. Right? He did a video, a while before he passed, right? And he told a story of a woman that he stepped to. Now, this woman that he stepped to, he was familiar with her, right? Because there was another woman that he knew. And that's how he knew the woman that he stepped to, from being around that other woman. So one day he's out and about, he runs into this woman. And if you know anything about ARC, right, he gets, now let me just say this before I say what I'm about to say. ARC studied the women before he said what he said. People forget this fact. He never just walked up on women and said what he said. He studied them, right? And then he said what he said. Now, so he said some super sexual shit. I don't recall exactly what he said to this woman, right? Now, she basically hit him with the, oh my God, do you speak to all women that way? Oh, that was wholly inappropriate. That's how she acted. Something like that. I don't recall, but it was something like that. So he gets a call from the other woman, right? Not the woman he stepped to, but from the woman that they both had in common, that they both knew. And that woman advised him that the other chick called her. And she admitted to the chick over the phone, what he said turned me on. It made my pussy wet. But I didn't want him to know that, because she didn't want to fuck him. I need guys to understand this, right? Right, because so let's just go, right? So let's just go. So let's go ahead and get into this. Let's go ahead and get into this. Hold on real quick. I got to do something real quick. Again, guys, if you got a question, put a Q in the chat, followed by your question. Yes, ARC, yes. Yes. Here's the thing. The better you are at reading people, because it's not just women. See, you cannot be good at reading women without being good at reading people. I don't know if guys understand this or not. Okay, there's no such thing as, oh, I'm better at reading one gender. No. You know what I'm saying? If you understand how to read people, it doesn't matter what sex they are. You can read them, right? Come on now, and this is what guys don't understand. That's a whole nother level of game, right? This is why you can stay one step ahead of the bullshit. This is why you can avoid getting used and all that other bullshit that most guys go through, because you can read people. But here's the thing about reading people. If you're not dealing with people on your terms, it doesn't matter anyway, right? So anyway, so let's go ahead and get into this. Let's get into this, man. So I got a couple of things I want to throw up here. Okay. Now let me throw this up here. Now some of this shit is going to be elementary, but I got to do it. I got to do it. A woman does not have to like you to desire you sexually. She has to like you to be around you non-sexually, right? Now, let's jump to this. Right, I'm going to start speeding up because there's a broader point I want to get to. To like someone generally means to feel fondness, attraction. Look at that word attraction. Because a lot of guys are going to see that word attraction and they're going to automatically think of her being attracted to them and that sex can occur. No, not so fast. To like someone generally means to feel fondness, attraction, or pleasure in their company. That's what a friend zone buddy is. Women are fond of their friend zone buddies. They are attracted to their guys. They are attracted to their friend zone buddies, and they find immense pleasure in their non-sexual company. Now, let's jump over here. Hold on. Let's jump over here. Sexual attraction is the feeling of being drawn to someone in a way that evokes a desire for sexual contact or activity. These are not my words. This is the definition. What I want to point out, when you see this definition, do you see a bunch of filler words about emotion and friendly and do you see any of that shit in here? This is not my definition. No, they get straight to the point. I want to fuck him. I want him to fuck me. It's plain and simple. There is no gray area. There is no middle ground. When I'm around this man, damn it, I want his dick in me now. Or I don't want his dick in me now. It's that simple. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. Sexual attraction is attraction based on sexual desire or the quality of arousing such interest. Most men, because of your topic of conversation, you fail at arousing the interest of sexual desire. It's that simple. Sexual attractiveness or sex appeal is an individual's ability to attract other people sexually. Now, let me stop there, because I'm going to segue into this. Now, peep what I just said right there, the last part. Sexual attractiveness or sex appeal is an individual's ability to attract people sexually. This is what most guys do. Right there. This is how most guys behave when they interact with women. Most men are going for like appeal and not sex appeal. See, this is what you're doing, right? So the shortest point to any point is straight. Point A to point B. Point A to point B. But a lot of you guys, you go from A to Z and you zigzagging all around the alphabet trying to get to B, trying to connect the dots. And you're hustling backwards. And what I mean by that is this. You're more concerned with the woman liking you. You're trying to get her to like you. You're trying to be likable. And what you don't understand is that could be working. You could be likable as a fucking friend, as someone she can kick it with. Ponder this for a second. Ponder this. When Steve and I were doing the Tuesday and Wednesday shows, and shout out to Steve and shout out to 50, still going strong doing her thing. When we were doing those shows, there would be guys that would call in and they would talk about how they met a chick and they were very platonic. Now, remember that word platonic and the word attraction. That's going to come up. They were very platonic, right? So then when they would call in, we would have them call up the chicks and then get sexual over the phone. And inevitably, 99.999% of the time, the women would react adversely to them being sexual. And they would basically say something along the lines, oh no, I thought we were just gonna hang out and kick it. I mean, you cool, but that ain't never gonna happen. I thought we were just gonna be friends. Why? Because when you met them, you were very platonic and they was like, oh, cool. Somebody I can hang around with. Let me say this real quick. It is a known fact that women prefer to hang around men than with their own kind. when it comes to just hanging. They prefer to hang around men. Yes, women talk about that shit all the time. This is why women make posts asking, why can't men be friends with ladies? How come it's always got to be sex? Women love hanging with men. They love the energy from a man. They can never get that energy from a woman. Women need it. Women need the energy of a man. They fucking need it like oxygen. Even if they don't want to fuck you, they need that shit. Believe that, right? Now, let's go ahead and get into this. Now, guys, if you got a question, put a Q in the chat. All about the question. Let me make sure I'm not missing any, because I'm about to bring something up and I'm gonna break something down. But I'm gonna disappear. My handsome face is gonna disappear. So I don't want to alarm any ladies. I'm sorry. Just give me a second. I'll be right back up. Okay, so hold on. Let me grab this joint. Oh shit. Where did it go? Right there. So give me a second. I'm gonna break this shit down. So if you got a question, put a Q in the chat. I'll check it in a second. Now peep game. So let's break this down. Far too many guys are attempting to be non-sexually appealing to women rather than exuding sex appeal, right? So let's break this down. And what I mean by that is this. Far too many guys, they're trying to make women comfortable believing that if I can get her relaxed and she can see that I'm a cool guy and that I'm likable, that by happenstance or by osmosis, that sex is going to happen, because you got to make women feel comfortable first. You have to make them think that you care about what they have to say for all this shit, right? So let's break this down. Non-sexual appeal refers to attraction or positive feelings towards someone that are not based on sexual desire. This can include aesthetic attraction, liking someone's appearance. These are not my words. Now, the top part where I said far too many guys are attempting to be non-sexually, yes. Everything else, these are not my words. These are not my words. So I'm telling you, there are women who have men that they think are good looking in the friend zone. And some women will tell you, some of the men they got in the friend zone, some of their friends think they're cute. Oh, what's up with him, girl? Y'all ain't fucking. Oh, no, he a little corny. Really? That's how that works, right? This can include aesthetic attraction, liking someone's appearance, sensual attraction, desiring physical closeness or touch. This is why you guys that be doing the Netflix and chilling without the sexual feeling, where the chick is kind of leaning all up on you and shit, but she won't let you grab no titties, no ass. She won't let you do none of that, but she'll lean all up on you. That's y'all. That's y'all motherfuckers. Desiring physical closeness or touch. That's y'all. And I know a lot of y'all be in those predicaments. Okay, and other forms of non-sexual connection, it's about finding someone appealing in ways that don't involve sexual arousal or attraction. Now, forms of non-sexual appeal. We're going to break this down. So I want y'all to understand. Aesthetic attraction. This is attraction to someone's appearance, style, or overall aesthetic without necessarily wanting a sexual or romantic relationship, right? It's like appreciating a beautiful piece of art or someone's fashion sense. Here's the thing, guys. This is why when guys say dumb shit like, oh, a woman ain't going to want to talk to you if you're not good looking and all this other shit. Okay, women will talk to any guy that can hold an entertaining conversation. It don't matter how you look, right? And guys think, oh, well, your looks get you in the door. Yeah, they get you in the friend zone door if you ain't got no fucking game. That's where your looks will get you, in the friend zone door, or just flat out reject it if you ain't got no game. Okay, so let's talk about sensual attraction. This involves the desire for physical closeness and touch, like hugging, cuddling. A lot of you niggas are cuddle thugs. You cuddle buddies. Y'all be cuddling with chicks, holding hands, but you ain't fucking. But without the sexual component, I know a lot of y'all, this is y'all life. Sexual frustration, right? It's the desire for physical intimacy, but not necessarily sexual intimacy. And guys confuse the two. They confuse it all the time. Other forms. This can include intellectual attraction. So when you hear bitches say, I'm attracted to intelligent men. Or what that word, sapiosexual, some shit like that. Here we go, nigga. This could include intellectual attraction, being drawn to someone's mind and ideas, emotional attraction, feeling a strong connection. So for all you niggas that are looking for that emotional connection, here we go, brother. This is for you. Emotional attraction, feeling a strong connection and bond. You got one. You guys are real good friends, but you ain't fucking. And even enjoying someone's personality or sense of humor. So for all you dudes that think being funny is the gateway to pussy, nigga, is the gateway to the friend zone. Now let's talk about sex appeal. So when I was talking about non-sexual appeal, you see this whole list of shit that it gave you for non-sexual appeal? And for all you guys that ain't got no game and you think you understand what's going on, this is why you ain't fucking. It feels like the chick might want to fuck. It feels like she might be interested. Not really, right? Sex appeal or sexual appeal, also known as sex appeal, refers to the quality of being sexually attractive and desirable to others. It's a factor in sexual selection and mate choice, influencing who we are attracted to and potentially choose as partners. Sex appeal can stem from various sources, including physical appearance, personality traits, and even behaviors that signal confidence and charisma. So let me get that off. Let me get that off. Hold on, y'all. Coming back to y'all. All right. So now that I stood on my soapbox and said what I needed to say. So guys, when we talk about, does she really need to like you to desire you sexually? No. Okay. And the reason why I'm doing this live stream is because I'm telling you, men, if you're mainly motivated to deal with the women that you are dealing with because you want to have sex, a casual sex encounter, a weekend fling, a potential sexual relationship, AKA fuck buddy situation, why are you being friendly? Why are you trying to get a woman to like? I don't want a woman to like me. Let me tell y'all something. Okay? And I said this earlier. Quote me on this. Etch this shit in stone. Or like Nas said with the album, it was written. A woman has to like you to want to be around you non-sexually. I don't want a woman to like me, right? I don't want her to like me. Now, eventually she will, because that's how that shit go. Okay, I'm a likable guy, right? But I'm not out here trying to be liked, though. I don't give a fuck about being liked. I'm more concerned with not wasting my time on women that don't see it as I do. Okay, bottom line, right? I'm looking for compatible lovers, right? Not incompatible time wasters, right? Again, I'm looking for compatible lovers, not incompatible time wasters. I don't got time for that. And women will waste your fucking time if you allow them. Now, I don't blame women. And the reason why I don't blame women, and y'all know what I find funny, and I've been meaning to talk about this. Y'all know what I find absolutely fucking hilarious. Because I know I'm 100% right. That when it comes to non-sexual attraction, I mean non-sexual intimacy, non-sexual attention, non-sexual energy, all of that. Because I tell you guys, that shit is just as important, if not more important than sex. But I never hear women talk about it. I never hear women talk about it. Never. And I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying I never hear it. I never hear women really talk about how important non-sexual energy, affection, and all of that is. Right? I never hear them put it in such a way where they admit how important it is. Right? And there's a reason for that. There's a reason why they don't. Right? Because they know, okay, God, I'm gonna need you to put the thinking caps on. I'm gonna tell you why they don't talk about it. Right? I'm gonna tell you why they don't talk about it. Because they don't want to make the same mistake that men made. Like, Zach, what the fuck do you mean? Somebody with some game gotta know where I'm about to go. Somebody with some game gotta know where I'm about to go. They don't want to make the same mistake that men made. Zach, what the fuck are you talking about? What was the mistake? Okay, I'm gonna tell you the mistake that men made. Now think about this, right? when you take men, just in general, what's the most important thing to men? Let's think about it, right? Set that to the side for a moment. Now, as important as sex is to women, there is something else that's more important than sex to women. And this same thing is important to men too, but not to some men, okay? But not nearly as important as sex, right? What is this thing? What's the mistake that men made that they're paying the price for it right now? Talking about how important sex was to them. Talking about body count, pair bonding, talking about, oh, these chicks are hoes, I'm looking for the good girl. The moment men started doing that shit publicly, women said, boom, got an angle. That's when men fucked up. If you know anything about the fucking 48 laws of power, you never let people know what you're thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? You never let people, you never. If someone told you that something was very, very, very important to them and it meant something to them, and you had the ability to influence them to get something out of them because of that, bro, that's what women are doing. And this is why women will not talk about how important non-sexual attention is, right? They're not going to talk about it because they know men are going to do the same thing that women are doing with sex, practicing abstinence. I am practicing abstinence from non-sexual attention. Men would unilaterally cut off all dates and shit. The only men that would do dates would be men that only do dates because they really want to do dates. And that's their standard. Every other guy that's doing dates hoping they can fuck would unilaterally cut that shit the fuck out. Because you know how important that shit is to women. So let me break this down even further. If I know, being who I am and having all the game in the world that I have, if I know that because non-sexual attention, energy, attraction, and all that, and intimacy, those are the keys to a healthy relationship. That's why a woman has to like you to want to be around you non-sexually. Because a woman, you desiring to be around a woman, even if you're not fucking her, is very important to her. These are the keys to a healthy, well-balanced relationship. So why would I give it to a woman up front? Why would I give her what she values the most up front? Why? Why? That's what y'all do. And you fuck yourselves up every fucking time. Why? See, when a woman tells you, I ain't that kind of girl, practicing abstinence, you got to get to know me, we got to be friends first. All these are cleverly disguised ways to extract what? What are they attempting to extract from you guys? Have y'all figured that out? Have y'all figured it out? When women know you want to fuck and they resist that. See, now, if a woman just flat out rejects you and tells you she ain't interested, y'all need to thank her. Send her an edible arrangement because she actually saved you some time. See, rejection shouldn't sting. Rejection is a blessing in disguise, right? See, when you ain't got no game about yourself and you're dealing with women and they're not rejecting you, that's where you should be concerned. Let me say that shit again. When you ain't got no game and women aren't rejecting you, that's where you should be concerned. Because what are they here for? Right? If they ain't trying to deal with you on your terms, if they ain't trying to deal with you sexually on your timeline, they have another reason. And it ain't sex. Because if they wanted sex, they'll be fucking when you want to fuck. Quote me on that. Quote me on that. Okay, and let me just say this real quick. Women can want both. A woman could want the non-sexual shit from you. In exchange, she might give you some pussy. She could be like, he's cute. I might have sex with him, but I got to know he's going to stick around first. I got to know that he ain't just going to fuck me and dip first, right? So how might a woman go about trying to negotiate that one? I don't know. She might tell you some shit like, well, if you're having sex with other women, you can't have sex with me. I know y'all heard that one. I know y'all heard that shit. I know y'all heard that shit. Okay. And another way she might present it is, oh, I don't care if you're dating other women, but if you want to have sex with me, you got to stop. Right? Or something along them lines. I know y'all heard that, right? Right. And all that's designed to do is give you the misleading impression that sex is possible, right? And most guys are going to do what? They're going to take her out. They're going to kick it with her. They're going to watch movies at her crib, right? You're going to tell her, you're going to give her a call. Hey, why don't you come by the crib after you get off work? No, why don't we meet at the Friend Zone Lounge? Yeah, the Friend Zone Lounge is popping. I heard the drinks are really inexpensive. Yeah, why don't we meet there? And you're going to be happy because she's meeting you. You're going to be like, well, you know what? Maybe she's not ready. Maybe she needs a little more time to warm up to me. This date ought to do it. I'm going to go on this date. Man, I'm going to act like I care. I'm going to ask her about her day and everything. I'm going to compliment her on her outfit. I'm going to tell her she smells good. I'm going to tell her her eyes are pretty. Everything. I'm going to pull my flattering conversation and compliment bag out and just say a bunch of shit. And push your ass further into the friend zone. The abyss. The motherfucking Bermuda Triangle of dating. Right? Believe that. So, guys, I'm about to get up out of here, man. It's been fun. I don't think I saw any questions, but I do see a super chat, though. Let me get that. His Holiness, $4.99. Never heard it put like that. Pass the collection plate. Hey, man, look, let me tell y'all something. I amaze my own self by the shit that's in my mind. I really do. Yeah, let me say this. Y'all have no idea. The shit that be popping in my head on a daily basis and shit. All these different ways to come at shit. Because here's the thing about facilitating information. Not everybody receives information and takes it in the same way, right? And what I mean by that is this. I remember years ago, I had an Algebra 2 class, and I failed that motherfucker. I made a D or an F. I don't recall which one it was, right? And I couldn't pick it up. And then I retook it with a different teacher, and I was picking that up, right? And sometimes it's because the way that people teach, it's the way that they facilitate information. And sometimes it's just more relatable, or it's just easier to piece together, right? So sometimes I probably get a little too detailed for my own good and shit, but I can't fucking help it. That's just who the fuck I am. Like I'm a thorough Negro like that. I get down like that, right? And how you do one thing is how you do all things, right? So that's how detail oriented and thorough I am with my shit, right? So Alberto says, am I overreacting? Had a date planned for Friday with the woman I've been fucking for 3 months. She canceled because she said her daughters want to hang out with her that day. I'm thinking to cancel. Okay, she said her daughters want to hang out. My thing is this though. Why the better question is, why were you offering a date? Look, let me just say this, and I'm not telling you guys to move as I move. For me, it got to make sense. Let me explain what I mean. By it got to make sense, right? So if I'm fucking a chick for 3 months and we're just fucking, that's all we're doing is just fucking. That's it. We're not doing nothing else. Okay, meaning I'm not spending the night with her. I'm not taking showers and enjoying meals and talking on the phone about miscellaneous things that ain't got nothing to do with setting up a sexual rendezvous. If we're just fucking, I have no incentive to take her out on a date. Because what has she done? Yeah, we've been fucking. Okay, cool. But for me, she's not going to get a date because we're having sex, right? And I'm not saying, Alberto, I'm not saying that that's your case, but I'm not taking women out just because we're fucking. Oh, we're fucking now. So I guess it's okay to take her out. See, guys, and Alberto, I'm not casting any aspersions on you. I'm not saying that this is you, but some guys think like this, right? They'll say, oh, I'm only gonna take a chick out after we start fucking as a way to say, okay, now I feel comfortable spending money because we're already fucking. And me personally, and I understand the rationale behind that, but that's not the way I think. My thing is, I don't care if we're fucking or not. Okay, if I ain't feeling you, all we doing is fucking. I ain't spending no fucking money. We ain't doing none of that. See, what would make me look at a woman different if we're just fucking? What would make me look at her different is her actions outside of the fucking. Because here's the thing: if we're just fucking, then clearly the main theme is fucking. So if she wants me to look at her as someone beyond just someone I can fuck on, she got to show me something. Her showing me her arch game and her head game, that's not enough to make me want to date her. I don't want to make her my girl because she look cute and we enjoy having sex. That's not enough for me to want to spend time with her non-sexually. It's not enough. I'm sorry, I got way more requirements than that. It's hard to get me. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. Hey, if you behave yourself, you act like you got some sense, you can get this dick. But when it comes to a relationship or getting me non-sexually and me kicking it with you, no, I'm not easy. I'm a prude. When it comes to my non-sexual fucking attention, I'm a prude ass nigga. I'm prude as fuck. Come on, man. Like, what are we doing? Like, I don't play with that shit. So and I'm not saying that she has to do specific things, but I know what it looked like. I know exactly what it looks like when a woman is heavily invested in wanting me to look at her as someone more than just how I look at her now. I've seen it. So a woman, like the bar's already been set. A bitch can't come under that bar and get me. Nah, bitch, you gotta meet or exceed. No exceptions. No exceptions. And I can't do no exceptions. I would like to. Because the ass is fat. Damn it, I would like to. Because I like fucking her, but I can't. Because I'm going to pay the price if I make that decision later. You know what I'm saying? And I know I will. You know what I'm saying? So hell no. And that's the discipline. That's the discipline. See, when we talk about dick discipline, it's not just about who you fuck and who you don't fuck. It's about understanding that when you are fucking a woman, that it should never be more than that. It should never be more than that. And you have to know that. You have to know that. Look, let me tell y'all something. There was one fuck buddy in particular. That fuck buddy, as far as the sexual chemistry we had, no woman I've ever dated seriously could match what she did in the bedroom. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? But I knew I couldn't date her seriously. I couldn't. And she wanted it. She wanted it bad. I mean, what did she do? And Pete Game, Alberto, check it. I'm going to tell you what she did, bro. She wanted to give me a key to her crib. Right? She basically said, you can have a key to my crib. You can come by anytime you want. And I'm just fucking her. I'm not doing nothing else but that. So you can come by anytime you want. And if I'm not home, you can chill and post up. There's plenty of food in the refrigerator. You can just chill. Basically saying, if you want to fuck and it's close and I'm getting close to getting off work, you can just be at the crib already. Like basically be at the crib and ready for me to hop on the motherfucking dick. Right? And like again, she wanted to give me a key. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Because see, that's a responsibility. I can't take that. Do you know what it means if I take that key? See, a lot of guys, they would think, oh, this is a cool deal. She's giving me all this access. And this is what most guys with no game would do. Maybe I am the only one she fucking. Nigga, stop it. Stop it. Yeah, you might be the only one she giving access to the crib like that. But nigga, she can fuck at somebody else's crib. I'm just anyway, yo, man. So let me get back to your question. No, I didn't take that key, bro. You know what I'm saying? And she did all kinds of shit. But no matter what she was trying to do to show me that she was heavily interested, I'm like, nah, I can't. Girl, I would like to, right? But discipline. Like, as much as I enjoy the sex and damn, you do it for me. Like, let me tell you how much you do it for me. Like I got to watch how I say this. Right? Yeah, y'all know I don't be having no filter and shit. Put it this way. I think her and I was having sex for about maybe an hour, bro. 5 times. I busted 5 times, nigga. In an hour, nigga. Like hour, nigga. An hour. Like the sex was amazing. But even with all of that, I still could not make her my girl. I couldn't. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. I would look at her sometimes. She was thick, and I would just look at her sometimes like, because she has some things going on in her life, right? And I'm like, I'm not dealing with none of that shit. There's too much uncertainty and sketchiness around your life, and I ain't getting involved in none of that shit, right? And I'm not talking about no criminal shit or nothing like that. It's just some unshakiness to you. You know what I'm saying? And as cute as you are, and as can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Can't do it, guys. Anyway, so let me just say this though. Okay, so you said she canceled. So this is what I would tell you, right? Number one, if a woman is canceling a date, especially after you guys have been dealing with each other for a while, I mean, that's bound to happen in some cases. You can't really get around that. But what you can do is respond to it appropriately without being emotional, right? And all you got to do is tell her, hey, look, this thing we've been doing, it's been working. It's been beautiful. It's been lovely. Okay? And I understand you have other obligations. I respect that. But it's very, very important that when we establish that we're doing something, that you need to be where you need to be at that time, for this thing to continue to flow as smoothly as it needs to be. And let me just say this. You never explain yourself to women, but in some cases, you do need to provide clarity, right? You can't always be on that man shit because I said so. You can't always be on that. You know what I'm saying? You can't really be on that like that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you might need to provide just a little clarity, right? And that's basically you interjecting a little reasoning in it, right? Right? Because sometimes people might respond emotionally to what you say, but when you add a little reason into it, it catches them differently. So that's just something to think about. There was more to the question. I'm thinking to cancel our next fuck appointment to show her I don't like that. No. I'm sweating like a motherfucker. Hold on, y'all. Oh damn, I should have grabbed the fucking. Anyway, no, bro, don't do that. See, you're doing exactly what's gonna make her not fuck with you. Because you're talking about doing tit for tat. No, bro. You check her on. You check her on it. When she canceled, you should have immediately checked her on it. You know what I'm saying? Not in a hostile, aggressive manner, but in a stern, assertive manner where she just understands that if this is going to work, we need to be on the same page, right? Now, again, she has a life outside of you. She has children and family and other things going on, right? But at the same time, if she values your situation and she respects it, then she needs to do some different things, right? Now, I don't know, did she offer? Because if you guys, let's say you guys usually fuck at 7 p.m. and there was something like her daughters came into town and she don't see her daughters that often, right? I expect her to spend time with her daughters. However, what she could have did, if there was something going on in and around that time that you guys normally fuck, what she could have did, she could have said, hey, our normal time won't be good for me, but I do have some availability the same day earlier at this time, or I do have some availability later on that day at this time. See, this is how I work, period. And this is, I don't fuck with women who don't do this. Okay, listen to what I'm telling you. And zero tolerance. I'm not flexible at all. If women don't do this, I'm fucking done with them, right? So if a woman is going to cancel on me, that's fine. I'm not mad at that, right? If she gives me appropriate notice, right? But what she better do, right, without me saying any fucking thing, what she better do is immediately offer an alternative. I can't make it at this time. However, I'm free here. Like I told y'all the story, okay? And for those of you who don't know, I'm going to try and be brief about it, right? And when this happened, this chick set a whole new standard. No woman can fall up under what she did. You know what I'm saying? With what she did. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, when that shit happened, I'm like, I like this shit. This is the shit right here. Okay, if a chick don't move in a similar fashion, I can't fuck with her. So there was a young lady, right? And we hadn't had sex yet, right? This was the first time her and I, excuse me, were going to connect. You know what I'm saying? You know, on an outing such as this, right? Just out and about, right? On a little date or whatever, right? So there's a little jazz joint that I had her meet me at, right? Now, she's en route, she's driving, right? And she calls me. Now, peep game. See, I'm a spoiled Negro. I'm spoiled. Okay, women have spoiled me, right? Okay, let me see when you get certain behavior from women, you get spoiled, right? I'm a spoiled motherfucker, right? So, and that's another one of my standards. This is why if y'all pay attention, I'll always say when chicks flake that I prefer to be called because it's more personable. I don't like that texting shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I'm gonna act adversely to the texting, but I'm a spoiled motherfucker. So when she was en route, she called me on the phone, right? Real personable, and she got points for that, right? So boom, so she called me and she said, "Hey, you know, I started my period. I can't stay, but I'm a few blocks away, and I figured I might as well just come see you real quick. But I gotta go. I can't stay." Now, whether she started her period or not, I don't care, right? It did. I'm not sitting there trying to decipher whether she lied or not. I mean, she could have lied. Who knows, right? But my point is this. So boom, she shows up. She hop out the whip. You know, we hugging it out. You know what I'm saying? And she tells me this, right? She tells me this, and she says, you know, she's very apologetic, very contrite. I'm sorry. Allow me to make it up to you. She said, I'll call you in a few days and I'll tell you what I have in store. I'm like, bet. So she didn't tell me. She just said, I'll call you in a few days and let you know what I have in store. She just said, let me make it up to you. I'm like, all right, let me fall back. And guys, I didn't text her. I didn't call her. She said, I'm gonna hit you up in a few days. My thing was, if she hits me up, cool. If she don't, oh well, right? So boom, she hits me up. She invites me to dinner at her house, right? Home cooked meal. Boom, show up. Long story short, ate some good food, smashed. She made her brother a to-go plate and dipped. Just like that. You know what I'm saying? Just like that, right? So it gets to a point when you experience certain things with women, I can't do the other shit, fellas. I can't do the other shit. Okay, so he says, are you ever gonna do your own calls? Yeah, bro. You got to remember, bro, I've been having these internet issues. So I have to have a while where I feel like I'm not having any issues because part of the phone calls is, you know, the internet for that shit. So if I'm adding that, then potentially I'm adding something else that might slow me up. So I got to make sure that my shit is on point before I add something else. So that's the plan, though. But we'll see. Time will tell, man. Time will tell. No guarantees, but that's the plan. Okay, so Rizzo the Rat says, any tips on maintaining a no exception mindset if you have no sexual experience? You don't need sexual experience, bro. The no exception mindset is for any situation with a woman. It can be it don't got to be related to sex, right? Since you're missing a key element to move with confidence, bro. Okay, and I said this in a recent video that I dropped this past weekend. This is what guys got to understand. You don't need necessarily experience with women to know when something don't feel right to you. Everybody has this thing called an intuition. You have this gut feeling about things, right? It's extensional sometimes. You just know when something don't feel right. The problem with a lot of guys, you accept it because you want the situation to work so bad. But you don't feel right, bro. You gotta know that. Like you just gotta know. and if you don't know, I can't teach you how to know when you're being disrespected. I cannot teach you how to know when you're being disrespected. You gotta know when you're being disrespected. You gotta know because I've seen guys in grocery stores getting screamed at. You're fucking worthless. Da 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 da. I don't know why the fuck I'm even married you. Da da da. Yelling in a grocery store. People just looking. I'm looking at the dude. I'm looking at the chick. You can't tell me that don't feel and said, I don't like this feeling of being humiliated. Something don't feel right. Bro, you calling the chick and leaving a message for her to call you back. And 3 or 4 days go by and she don't call you back. She texts you and say hi. Nigga, that don't feel right. You called her and said, hit me back when you get a moment or when you have an opportunity. 4 days later, hi or WID. What do you do? That don't feel right? I'm sorry, I'm yelling. That don't feel right to you. You know what I'm saying? So, but what it is guys keep pushing through the resistance. Oh man. Can y'all hear me? Because now motherfuckers are saying after a fucking hour that they can't hear shit. The robot is on again? Y'all just now telling me about the fucking audio? I must have hit something just now. Hold on, give me a second. I must have hit it by accident. Give me a second. Give me a second. Can y'all still, does it still sound like a robot? Does it still sound like a robot? Guys, does it still sound like a robot? I fixed this shit. Okay, guys. How long y'all been telling me? Why this shit keeps flipping on like that? Was it like that at the beginning of the stream, though? Was it like that at the beginning of the stream? Okay, I'm gonna end this stream. Hey, y'all. Love, peace, and happiness. I'm out.